Since 1967, the CIA has possessed documents detailing ancient knowledge that could rewrite everything. Are you ready to question everything you know? What if the true history of humanity, the real potential of human consciousness, and the very nature of reality have been deliberately hidden from you, tucked away in classified files? This isn't just about dusty artifacts or forgotten civilizations. This is about reclaiming your power and understanding a world far stranger and more wondrous than you've ever imagined. Ancient civilizations may have possessed a sophisticated understanding of consciousness, the universe, and reality itself, potentially exceeding modern scientific understanding. Imagine ancient Egyptian priests using focused intention to influence the Nile's flood patterns, or Indian yogis accessing altered states of consciousness to achieve seemingly impossible feats of healing and control over their bodies. What if these weren't just myths or superstitions, but evidence of a deep understanding of reality's fundamental principles, principles that modern science is only beginning to scratch the surface of, and principles the CIA seems to have been investigating? Perhaps the answers to unlocking our full potential lie buried in the secrets of the past. Throughout history, there have been recurring patterns of suppression and rediscovery of knowledge. Consider the destruction of the Library of Alexandria, a devastating loss that plunged the world into darkness for centuries. Countless texts detailing advanced scientific, philosophical, and spiritual knowledge were forever lost in the blaze. Was this simply an accident of history, or a deliberate act to control the flow of information? Did those in power want the knowledge contained within those scrolls to be lost forever? This pattern hints at a larger cycle, where advanced knowledge surfaces, threatens the status quo, and is subsequently suppressed, only to re-emerge later, waiting to be rediscovered by those who seek it. The CIA's alleged involvement adds another layer of intrigue to this already complex story. What was it about this ancient knowledge that piqued the interest of one of the world's most powerful intelligence agencies? Project Stargate, the CIA's remote viewing program, offers a glimpse into their exploration of paranormal phenomena and the potential of human consciousness. Did they uncover evidence of ancient technologies or abilities that could be weaponized or controlled? Did they find something that threatened the existing world order? And if so, what measures did they take to keep it hidden? And what does this mean for us today? Understanding this suppressed ancient knowledge could unlock hidden human potential and offer a profoundly deeper understanding of reality. Imagine accessing the same transformative experiences promised by ancient mystery schools like the Eleusinian Mysteries, where initiates underwent secret rituals to gain insights into the nature of life, death, and the cosmos. What if these insights are not lost, but simply forgotten, waiting to be rediscovered and integrated into our modern understanding of the world? This knowledge isn't just about intellectual curiosity. It's about tapping into a wellspring of human potential that has been dormant for centuries. The implications of uncovering suppressed knowledge extend far beyond personal enlightenment. It could challenge established power structures and societal norms, potentially leading to significant shifts in how we organize ourselves and interact with the world. Consider how ancient societies often structured themselves around spiritual or esoteric knowledge, with leaders possessing a deep understanding of the interconnectedness of all things. How does this compare to modern political ideologies that often prioritize power, control, and material gain? Could understanding the ancient ways provide insights into the limitations and potential manipulations within our current systems? The power of individual consciousness to shape reality was a central tenet of many ancient philosophies. What if you could break free from limiting beliefs and societal conditioning to create your own destiny? Reclaiming this ancient knowledge means questioning authority, seeking truth, and embracing your inherent power. It's about recognizing that you are not a passive recipient of reality, but an active co-creator, capable of shaping your own experience and contributing to a more awakened world. It's a call to understand your place in the universe, and to take back the keys to your own mind. Ancient Egypt, Greece, India, these civilizations, and others were repositories of esoteric knowledge and spiritual practices that continue to fascinate and inspire us today. We must recognize their contributions and resist the urge to assume that we know more than they did simply because we live in a technologically advanced age. We must ask ourselves, what did these civilizations truly understand about consciousness, reality creation, and the interconnectedness of all things? What were they trying to teach us, and why has this knowledge been so consistently marginalized or suppressed? Consciousness, reality creation, and interconnectedness are the core concepts that weave through many ancient teachings. These concepts challenge the modern idea that the universe is separate from the observer and that we are all separate beings. What if our reality is actually more akin to a simulation, a construct of consciousness, as some modern theories suggest? And what if the CIA stumbled upon evidence of this while investigating ancient knowledge? Did they realize how fragile our perceived reality might be? The narrative thread we will follow involves tracing the CIA's potential interest in these concepts through declassified documents and historical accounts. What specific projects did they undertake, and what were they hoping to achieve? Was the CIA trying to unlock the secrets of consciousness, tap into ancient technologies, or gain control over the very fabric of reality? The answers may lie hidden within the agency's archives, waiting to be brought to light. Recurring ancient symbols and archetypes, like the serpent, the tree of life, and the mandala, appear across diverse cultures, hinting at a shared understanding of universal principles. Consider the serpent, often associated with wisdom, transformation, and hidden knowledge. It appears in countless myths and legends, from the Garden of Eden to the Mayan serpent god Kukulkan. What is the deeper meaning of these symbols, and what do they tell us about the nature of reality? What did the CIA find in its investigation of ancient knowledge? Why would such knowledge be suppressed? What are the implications for humanity if this knowledge were widely known? These layered questions are designed to ignite your curiosity and create a sense of mystery. The specific types of ancient knowledge the CIA allegedly sought to conceal hint at a connection to advanced technologies or paranormal abilities. The possibility of government involvement raises the stakes even higher, suggesting a deliberate effort to control information and shape public perception. We will explore specific patterns, such as the serpent symbol, cycles of destruction and renewal, and the common themes in ancient spiritual texts. This video will also reveal specific details about declassified CIA documents and their potential connection to ancient mysteries. What happens when this information is revealed? Are you ready to find out? What exactly was the CIA hoping to achieve by delving into the mysteries of the past? Project Stargate, the agency's foray into remote viewing, offers a tangible glimpse into their quest. Imagine a scenario where a trained psychic, sitting in a darkened room in Virginia, is able to accurately describe a Soviet military installation thousands of miles away, detailing its layout, its purpose, and even the activities taking place within its walls. This wasn't science fiction. It was the reality of Project Stargate. One particularly compelling experiment involved viewers accurately depicting a Soviet submarine base that the U.S. intelligence community had no prior knowledge of. While some claim these successes were merely coincidences or the result of clever guesswork, the sheer volume of documented cases raises profound questions about the potential of the human mind and the nature of reality itself. Did the CIA truly believe that psychic abilities could be harnessed for intelligence gathering, or were they searching for something far more profound? Declassified CIA documents offer further clues, revealing the agency's fascination with esoteric practices and paranormal phenomena. One document, for example, details the CIA's interest in the gateway process, a system of meditation and self-hypnosis techniques designed to alter states of consciousness and access higher dimensions of reality. Another document outlines the agency's investigation into the potential use of psychic abilities for psychological warfare, exploring the possibility of influencing enemy leaders or disrupting their decision-making processes through targeted mental interventions. These documents suggest that the CIA wasn't just interested in gathering information. They were exploring the potential to manipulate reality itself. Was the CIA's interest purely strategic, driven by a desire to gain an advantage over its adversaries, or were there deeper, more philosophical motivations at play? Perhaps they recognized that ancient knowledge held the key to unlocking the full potential of human consciousness, and that controlling this knowledge could be a means of controlling the world. Or perhaps they feared what would happen if this knowledge were widely available. But what motivated this hunt? Was it merely the desire for intelligence superiority, or were there more profound strategic goals at play? Imagine a scenario where the CIA believed that ancient knowledge could be weaponized, that the secrets of consciousness could be used to control populations or manipulate global events. This possibility raises disturbing ethical questions about the potential for abuse and the responsibility that comes with such power. It also suggests that the CIA may have seen ancient knowledge as a threat to national security, something that needed to be contained or neutralized to protect the existing world order. The CIA's investigation may have been an attempt to either exploit or neutralize ancient knowledge, to either harness its power for their own purposes or prevent it from falling into the wrong hands. The question remains, which was it? The Eleusinian mysteries, shrouded in secrecy for centuries, offer another piece of the puzzle. These ancient Greek rituals, held annually in the town of Eleusis, promised initiates a transformative experience, a glimpse into the nature of life, death, and the cosmos. What exactly took place within the walls of the Telesterion, the sacred hall where the mysteries were performed? While the details remain elusive, scholars believe that the rituals involved the use of psychoactive substances, the presentation of sacred objects, and the performance of dramatic reenactments of mythological stories. These experiences were designed to induce altered states of consciousness, allowing initiates to transcend their ordinary perceptions and gain access to deeper levels of understanding. Consider the possibility that the kykeon, the sacred drink consumed by initiates, contained a powerful psychedelic compound that opened the doors to altered states of awareness. Or consider the possibility that the Hierophant, the high priest who presided over the rituals, possessed advanced knowledge of psychology and hypnosis, using these techniques to guide initiates through profound transformative experiences. What secrets were revealed to those who underwent these initiations? Beyond Eleusis, other ancient mystery schools flourished throughout the ancient world, each with its own unique traditions and practices. The mystery schools of ancient Egypt, for example, focused on the teachings of Hermes Trismegistus, a legendary figure associated with wisdom, magic, and alchemy. The Pythagoreans, a secretive society founded by the Greek philosopher Pythagoras, explored the mathematical principles underlying the universe and their connection to music, harmony, and spiritual enlightenment. The Essenes, a Jewish sect that lived in the desert near the Dead Sea, practiced a form of communal living and spiritual discipline that emphasized purity, self-denial, and the pursuit of mystical knowledge. Each of these traditions, despite their differences, shared a common focus on esoteric knowledge and personal transformation. Whether through ritual, meditation, or the study of sacred texts, these schools sought to unlock the hidden potentials of the human mind and gain access to deeper levels of reality. Were they all, in their unique ways, tapping into the same source of ancient wisdom? What type of knowledge did these mystery schools possess? Perhaps they held advanced knowledge of physics, mathematics, or psychology that has been lost or suppressed over time. Imagine ancient mathematicians understanding the principles of quantum physics, or ancient psychologists mastering the art of manipulating consciousness. Maybe they possessed techniques for manipulating consciousness, understanding universal laws, or accessing hidden dimensions of reality. This knowledge, if it existed, could have been used for both benevolent and malevolent purposes, to heal and enlighten, or to control and manipulate. The common thread between all mystery schools and esoteric knowledge is that there is a universal pattern across all cultures and times. This understanding of reality may be vastly different from our modern perspective. Ancient philosophers and spiritual teachers often viewed consciousness as the fundamental ground of reality, the source from which all things arise. The All, from Hermeticism, is described as the ultimate reality, the infinite and eternal source of all existence. The Atman, from Hinduism, is described as the individual self, which is ultimately identical to Brahman, the universal consciousness. These concepts challenge the modern scientific view of consciousness as a mere byproduct of brain activity, suggesting that consciousness is something far more fundamental and pervasive. What if our thoughts and beliefs are not simply reflections of reality, but active forces that shape it? If reality is a construct, as many ancient traditions believed, then it is malleable, influenced by individual and collective consciousness. This idea resonates with modern theories about the simulation hypothesis, which posits that our reality may be a computer-generated simulation created by an advanced intelligence. But the idea isn't that new at all. What if the ancient shamans and mystics were actually manipulating this simulation, bending the rules of reality through focused intention and altered states of consciousness? What if the CIA stumbled upon evidence of this while investigating ancient knowledge? And if we can change it, what will we change? Ancient mystics and shamans employed specific techniques to alter their perception of reality, accessing altered states of consciousness through meditation, visualization, and the use of entheogens. Consider the practice of shamanic journeying, where a shaman enters a trance state to travel to other dimensions, communicate with spirits, and retrieve lost souls. Or consider the practice of Tibetan dream yoga, where practitioners learn to control their dreams and use them as a tool for spiritual growth. These practices demonstrate the power of the human mind to transcend the limitations of ordinary perception and access extraordinary realms of experience. If these techniques are as effective as ancient sources suggest, is it possible to not just change your perception, but break free from limitations and create your desired reality? If the ability to manipulate reality through consciousness is real, as ancient traditions and some CIA experiments suggest, then it's crucial to examine the systems in place that might be designed to control or limit that very power. How do modern societies echo the control mechanisms of the past, perhaps even more subtly and effectively? Throughout history, rulers and elites have employed various tactics to maintain their power, often drawing from the same playbook. Consider the divine right of kings, the belief that a monarch's authority comes directly from God, rendering any challenge to their rule a sacrilegious act. This wasn't just a political strategy. It was a carefully constructed belief system designed to discourage dissent and maintain social order. Similarly, rigid social hierarchies, like the caste system in ancient India, assigned individuals predetermined roles and responsibilities based on their birth, effectively limiting their social mobility and reinforcing the power of the ruling elite. Religious dogma, with its emphasis on unquestioning obedience to authority, also served as a powerful tool for controlling populations. By shaping people's beliefs and values, rulers could ensure their compliance and maintain their grip on power. These ancient mechanisms weren't just about brute force. They were about shaping the very fabric of society to ensure the perpetuation of the existing power structure. Now, let's examine how these ancient control mechanisms manifest in modern society. While we may not have literal divine right of kings, we have something arguably more insidious: mass media manipulation. The myths and legends of old have been replaced by carefully crafted narratives disseminated through television, the internet, and social media, shaping public opinion and influencing behavior in subtle yet profound ways. Consider how political campaigns use emotional appeals and carefully selected information to sway voters, or how advertising creates artificial desires and encourages consumerism. Surveillance, once limited to the eyes and ears of the palace guards, is now ubiquitous, with governments and corporations tracking our every move online, collecting vast amounts of data about our preferences, our habits, and our beliefs. Economic manipulation, through policies that favor the wealthy and powerful, creates vast inequalities and reinforces existing power structures. The illusion of choice, the feeling that we are free to make our own decisions, is often just that, an illusion masking the subtle ways in which our thoughts and behaviors are being influenced by forces beyond our control. Are we really as free as we think we are, or are we simply cogs in a machine designed to maintain the status quo? Many people today live under an illusion of freedom, blissfully unaware of the subtle ways in which their thoughts and behaviors are being influenced by these control systems. Social media algorithms, for example, create filter bubbles, reinforcing existing beliefs and limiting exposure to alternative perspectives. The information we see online is carefully curated to appeal to our biases, creating a distorted view of reality and making it difficult to engage in meaningful dialogue with those who hold different opinions. News outlets, often owned by powerful corporations, present information in a way that aligns with their interests, shaping public discourse and influencing political outcomes. Even our education system, while ostensibly designed to enlighten us, can inadvertently reinforce existing power structures by promoting certain narratives and suppressing others. This creates a society where people believe they are making informed choices, when in reality their decisions are being subtly guided by forces they may not even be aware of. Is true freedom even possible in a world where information is so carefully controlled and manipulated? Understanding these control systems is the first step towards breaking free from their influence. By becoming more aware of the subtle ways in which our thoughts and behaviors are being shaped, we can begin to challenge our assumptions, question the narratives we are being told, and reclaim our personal autonomy. This requires a willingness to think critically, to seek out multiple perspectives, and to resist the urge to blindly accept what we are told by authority figures or mainstream media. It also requires a commitment to self-awareness, to understanding our own biases and prejudices, and to recognizing how these can be exploited by those who seek to control us. The more conscious and autonomous we become, the less susceptible we are to manipulation, and the more empowered we are to create our own reality. This growing individual awareness can begin to act as a disruptor. But who are the architects of these systems? Throughout history, myths and legends have told of powerful entities, both human and non-human, who sought to control humanity. From the Gnostic concept of the archons, malevolent beings who created the material world to trap human souls, to the Anunnaki from Sumerian mythology, advanced beings who supposedly manipulated human genetics for their own purposes, these stories reflect a deep-seated human fear of being controlled by forces beyond our comprehension. Who are the controllers in our modern world? Some theories point to powerful elites and secret societies, wealthy and influential individuals who secretly manipulate world events to maintain their power and control. Groups like the Bilderberg Group or the World Economic Forum, gatherings of political leaders, business executives, and academics, are often cited as examples of these shadowy organizations. Others suggest that the controllers are not human at all, but interdimensional beings or artificial intelligence, entities that operate on a level of reality beyond our comprehension. Still, others believe it's the power of money and financial institutions. Regardless of who or what they may be, these theories share a common thread: the belief that humanity is not in control of its own destiny, that our lives are being manipulated by forces beyond our awareness. Are these just paranoid fantasies, or is there a grain of truth to these claims? Ultimately, the power of these controllers, whether they are human or non-human, depends on the belief and consent of the masses. If we believe in their power, if we accept their narratives, if we comply with their demands, we are effectively giving them our energy and reinforcing their control. But what if we withdrew our belief? What if we stopped accepting their narratives? What if we refused to comply? Could we diminish their influence? Consider the power of money and financial institutions, which depends entirely on our collective belief in its value. If we all decided that money was worthless, the entire system would collapse. Similarly, the power of political leaders depends on our belief in their legitimacy. If we all refused to obey their laws, they would lose their authority. By withdrawing our belief in their power, we can create cracks in the system, opening up the possibility for change and transformation. Could this be part of what the CIA was so anxious about? The concept of the controllers fits into the recurring pattern of suppression and rediscovery. Throughout history, those in power have sought to suppress knowledge that could empower humanity, whether it be ancient wisdom, scientific discoveries, or spiritual insights. This suppression is not always overt. It can take the form of misinformation, censorship, or simply ignoring or discrediting alternative perspectives. But even when knowledge is suppressed, it always seems to resurface, often in unexpected ways, sparking new waves of enlightenment and challenging the existing power structure. This cycle of suppression and rediscovery suggests that the quest for knowledge is an inherent human drive, one that cannot be extinguished, no matter how hard the controllers may try. So how do we actively resist these forces? To escape the matrix of control, we can turn to ancient techniques for self-liberation, practices that have been used for centuries to help individuals break free from limiting beliefs and connect with their true selves. How can we adapt these ancient techniques for the modern world, providing viewers with practical exercises they can use to increase their self-awareness, challenge their beliefs, and reclaim their personal power? Meditation, mindfulness, and self-inquiry are examples of these age-old techniques. Meditation, the practice of training the mind to focus and quiet the incessant chatter of thoughts, allows us to observe our thoughts and emotions without judgment, creating a space for inner peace and clarity. Mindfulness, the practice of paying attention to the present moment without getting caught up in thoughts about the past or worries about the future, helps us to appreciate the beauty and richness of life, even in the midst of challenges. Self-inquiry, the practice of questioning our beliefs and assumptions, helps us to identify and release limiting beliefs that are holding us back from reaching our full potential. These practices, while simple in their essence, can be profoundly transformative, helping us to break free from the mental prisons we have constructed for ourselves. These ancient techniques can be adapted for the modern world to increase self-awareness, challenge beliefs, and reclaim personal power. One exercise is a guided meditation that focuses on identifying and releasing limiting beliefs, such as the belief that one is not good enough or that one is powerless to change their circumstances. By visualizing these beliefs as tangible objects, we can symbolically release them, creating space for more empowering beliefs to take their place. Critical thinking and discernment are essential for navigating the information landscape. We must question everything we are told and seek out multiple perspectives. We can also identify cognitive biases and logical fallacies, becoming more aware of how our own thinking can be distorted or manipulated. For example, confirmation bias, the tendency to seek out information that confirms our existing beliefs, can lead us to become entrenched in our own echo chambers, making it difficult to consider alternative viewpoints. By recognizing this bias, we can make a conscious effort to seek out information that challenges our beliefs, broadening our perspectives and making us more open-minded. How can we change our perspective? Escaping the matrix is not about physically leaving the world, but about changing our perception of it, recognizing the illusion of control, and embracing our own creative power. It's about realizing that we are not victims of circumstance, but active co-creators of our reality. This shift in perspective can be profoundly liberating, allowing us to take responsibility for our lives and to create the kind of world we want to live in. It's about recognizing that the power to change the world lies within each and every one of us, and that by aligning our thoughts, feelings, and actions with our true selves, we can manifest our desires and create a more fulfilling life. But how do you achieve this? What's the key? Ancient concepts of the soul or higher self provide further insight. Hinduism's Atman, the individual soul identical to the universal Brahman, and Stoicism's Pneuma, the divine spark within each of us, suggest that our true selves are not limited to our physical bodies or our egoic identities. These ancient traditions teach us that we are all interconnected, part of a larger cosmic consciousness, and that by connecting with our true selves, we can access a source of infinite wisdom and power. But how do you connect with it and begin reclaiming your identity? Question your identity, explore who you are beyond your name, your roles, and your beliefs. What are your values? What are your passions? What are your unique gifts? By living in alignment with our authentic selves, we can tap into a source of infinite creativity and inspiration, allowing us to manifest our desires and create a more fulfilling life. A good way to begin is by asking yourself some important questions. If money was no object, how would I spend my time? What activities make me feel truly alive and energized? What am I naturally good at? What do people often ask me for help with? The answers to these questions can provide valuable clues about your true passions and your unique gifts, guiding you towards a more authentic and fulfilling life. We're all co-creators of our reality, and by aligning our thoughts, feelings, and actions with our true selves, we can manifest our desires and create a more fulfilling life. The law of attraction suggests that our thoughts and feelings create our reality, that what we focus on expands. If we focus on positive emotions and empowering beliefs, we attract positive experiences into our lives. If we focus on negative emotions and limiting beliefs, we attract negative experiences. This is where aligning thoughts, feelings, and action becomes critical. Visualizing your desires, feeling the emotions associated with achieving them, and taking inspired action towards your goals all amplify the power of creation. What the CIA may have sought to suppress is the understanding of our true selves. Understanding our true selves is the ultimate key to unlocking our full potential and creating a better world for ourselves and future generations. Perhaps this knowledge was what the CIA was seeking to control, as it poses the greatest threat to existing power structures. After all, if people realize they are not limited to their physical bodies or their societal roles, if they recognize their power to create their own reality, then the entire system of control begins to crumble. The question remains, what steps were they willing to take to keep this a secret? If understanding our true selves is the ultimate key, then what was the CIA actively doing beyond suppression? Was it merely content to play defense, or was it also seeking to control and manipulate this very understanding for its own purposes? What if the CIA wasn't just studying reality, but actively trying to architect it? Imagine the shift in perspective. From observers to active participants, from scientists studying a phenomenon to engineers designing a world. The CIA's focus, if these theories are to be believed, extended beyond simply understanding the power of consciousness. It delved into influencing mass consciousness itself. This is where social engineering and propaganda become incredibly relevant. The idea isn't just about controlling individuals, like in the infamous project MK Ultra, but about subtly steering entire populations, shaping their beliefs, desires, and ultimately their actions. Think of it as tending a garden, not just studying plants, but carefully pruning, fertilizing, and even genetically modifying them to produce the desired outcome. Was the CIA attempting to cultivate a specific type of society? one that served its own interests. Project MK Ultra, with its experiments on mind control and behavior modification, could be seen as a dark precursor to this grander vision, a training ground for understanding how to manipulate individual minds as a stepping stone to influencing the collective consciousness. If individual minds could be programmed, could societies themselves be reprogrammed? Within the agency were there reality architects, individuals tasked with understanding and manipulating the very fabric of reality. These figures wouldn't just be analysts or researchers. They would be akin to stage directors, carefully orchestrating events and narratives to achieve a desired effect. They would need to understand psychology, sociology, history, and even metaphysics, possessing a holistic grasp of how beliefs are formed, how societies function, and how reality itself can be shaped. How would they operate? Perhaps by identifying key leverage points within society, points where a small nudge could create a cascade of effects. This could involve influencing media narratives, funding specific research projects, or even creating entirely new belief systems designed to subtly alter the course of history. The implications of such a program are staggering, suggesting a level of control that goes far beyond conventional notions of government influence. How far was the CIA willing to go to reshape reality in its own image, and what tools would they employ? If the CIA sought to manipulate reality, one potential avenue lies in understanding and decoding ancient symbols. Could these symbols act as keys to the subconscious, unlocking hidden potentials, or more disturbingly, providing a means of control? What if the serpent, the tree of life, the mandala, and other enduring symbols held a deeper significance, a connection to the very architecture of the human mind? Consider the power of symbols in advertising. A logo, a color scheme, an image all carefully crafted to evoke specific emotions and associations in the viewer. Ancient symbols, imbued with centuries of meaning and cultural significance, could possess an even greater power to influence the subconscious. Carl Jung's theories on archetypes and the collective unconscious provide a framework for understanding how these symbols might work. Jung believed that certain universal patterns and images reside within the collective unconscious, shared by all humanity. Ancient symbols, resonating with these archetypes, could tap into these primal patterns, triggering deep-seated emotions and influencing behavior. Imagine the CIA being privy to Jung's work and understanding how ancient symbols may tap into these universal patterns. These symbols could act as triggers or keys to access deeper levels of awareness or to subtly manipulate beliefs and behaviors. Was the CIA potentially seeking to weaponize these symbols, using them in subliminal messaging or propaganda campaigns to influence mass consciousness? If so, how would this manifest? Perhaps in the selection of specific imagery in government documents or public service announcements, or even in the design of public spaces. The possibilities are unsettling, suggesting a hidden layer of influence operating beneath the surface of our everyday lives. The agency could have attempted to decode their meanings and use them to bypass conscious thought. This could have led to attempts to embed these symbols in media, art, and even architecture, creating a subtle form of mind control. How could we even detect such a pervasive influence, and what defenses might we employ against it? Beyond symbols, what if the CIA explored the forbidden door of entheogens and expanded consciousness? Could these substances unlock hidden potentials within the mind, or did they present an opportunity for control and manipulation? What role might psychedelics have played in the CIA's quest for ancient knowledge and power? Throughout history, numerous cultures have used entheogens, or psychedelics, for spiritual exploration, healing, and divination. Ayahuasca in Amazonian shamanism, psilocybin mushrooms in Mesoamerican rituals, and cannabis in ancient India all served as gateways to altered states of consciousness, providing access to insights and experiences that transcended the ordinary. Modern scientific research on psychedelics has confirmed their ability to induce profound changes in perception, thought, and emotion, even suggesting potential benefits for treating mental health conditions. Could the CIA have viewed these substances as a key to unlocking the mysteries of the mind, a tool for accessing hidden knowledge, or developing new forms of psychological warfare? The CIA's interest in entheogens is well documented, particularly through Project MK Ultra, which involved experiments with LSD and other substances in an attempt to develop mind control techniques. However, the agency's interest may have extended beyond mere control. Perhaps they saw entheogens as a tool for both unlocking and controlling consciousness, potentially seeking to harness their power for intelligence gathering or mind control, as well as to replicate ancient spiritual experiences to understand the nature of reality itself. The potential ethical implications are staggering. If the CIA believed it could control consciousness through entheogens, what safeguards were in place to prevent abuse? Could the pursuit of knowledge have blinded them to the potential harm they were inflicting? And what are the long-term consequences of experimenting with such powerful substances? If entheogens offered a glimpse behind the curtain of reality, what other forbidden knowledge might the CIA have sought to uncover? What about the Akashic records, the supposed library of the universe? If accessible, could this vast repository of information hold the secrets of the past, present, and future? And if so, what lengths might the CIA have gone to in order to access it? Imagine a cosmic database containing every thought, every event, every possibility that has ever occurred or ever will occur. This is the concept of the Akashic records, a universal library of information accessible through altered states of consciousness. According to some theories, ancient civilizations possessed the ability to tap into these records, gaining access to advanced knowledge and insights. Edgar Cayce, the sleeping prophet, is perhaps the most famous example, with his alleged ability to access the Akashic records and provide accurate readings on a variety of topics, from medical diagnoses to historical events. The question arises: could the CIA have been trying to do the same through remote viewing or other paranormal techniques? If the Akashic records are real, the potential value to the CIA would be immense. Access to such a database could provide insights into enemy strategies, predict future events, or even reveal the secrets of ancient technologies. However, the prospect also raises a number of unsettling questions. What methods would the CIA employ to access the Akashic records, and what safeguards would be in place to prevent misuse of the information? What ethical considerations would guide their actions, and how would they balance the pursuit of knowledge with the potential for harm? Perhaps declassified documents hint at CIA experimentation involving accessing these records, carefully worded and obscured, but pointing to the possibility. What were the agency's goals? What methods did they use? And what did they ultimately discover? What if some ancient civilizations had knowledge of time travel or precognition? And did that knowledge, and the potential application of that knowledge, make the CIA interested? What does this imply about the nature of reality? If time is not linear, but a more flexible dimension, could some individuals or civilizations have learned to navigate it? Ancient prophecies, if accurate, suggest that some may have been able to glimpse into the future. The implications of such abilities are profound, challenging our fundamental understanding of causality and free will. If the future is already determined, are we simply puppets acting out a pre-written script? Or does the act of seeing the future change it? Project Stargate and the CIA's interest in remote viewing become even more intriguing in this context. Were they simply trying to view distant locations, or were they also attempting to develop the ability to see into the future? What strategic advantage would such an ability provide, and what would the consequences be of altering the course of time? The very possibility of time travel or precognition challenges our linear perception of time. Did the CIA understand the potential implications? Was the agency trying to develop the ability to view not only distant locations, but also future events? And if so, what were they hoping to achieve? If time is an illusion, and all moments exist simultaneously, then what does that say about our reality? What was the CIA trying to understand about time, and why? Finally, and perhaps most profoundly, how does the simulation hypothesis connect to ancient teachings about the illusory nature of reality? Could ancient wisdom offer clues about the true nature of our existence, and was the CIA seeking to understand, or perhaps even control, the program? Plato's allegory of the cave, in which prisoners mistake shadows on the wall for reality, is often cited as an early analogy for the simulation hypothesis. Ancient Hindu and Buddhist teachings also emphasize the illusory nature of the material world, suggesting that our perceptions are limited and that true reality lies beyond the senses. These ancient echoes suggest that the concept of a simulated reality is not entirely new. If our reality is indeed a simulation, what are the implications for our understanding of consciousness, free will, and the nature of the universe? Could the CIA have been seeking to understand the rules of the simulation, hoping to manipulate them for its own purposes? Or were they more concerned with preventing individuals from realizing the true nature of their existence, fearing that such knowledge could empower them to break free from the simulated world? If the CIA suspected we were living in a simulation, what actions might they have taken, and what secrets might they have tried to keep hidden? And ultimately, does it matter if we live in a simulation? If belief shapes reality, then what was the operating system the CIA wanted to install? If beliefs are the foundation upon which we construct our realities, both individually and collectively, then controlling those beliefs becomes paramount. What did ancient traditions understand about controlling beliefs to maintain social order, and how might the CIA have applied those lessons in the modern world? Is this the operating system of reality? Ancient traditions, from the Egyptian priesthood to the Roman emperors, understood the importance of controlling belief systems to maintain social order. By shaping people's beliefs about the world, their place in it, and the nature of reality itself, rulers could ensure their compliance and prevent dissent. The concept of divine right, for example, was a powerful tool for legitimizing authority, while religious dogma provided a framework for moral behavior and social cohesion. These ancient strategies demonstrate a deep understanding of the power of belief to shape reality, a power that could be used for both benevolent and malevolent purposes. Is our modern world any different? From propaganda to advertising to political rhetoric, belief manipulation is pervasive in modern society. The CIA, with its documented history of psychological warfare and information control, would have been acutely aware of the power of belief to shape reality. The placebo effect provides tangible evidence of how our beliefs can directly influence our physical health and well-being. This connection suggests the agency may have been using, and continue to use, belief control as a means of shaping reality itself. But what is the ultimate goal of this control, and how can we resist its influence? If we are indeed co-creators of our reality, then how do we reclaim our power and awaken from the dream? What practical steps can viewers take to live more consciously and create a better world? What is the key to awakening? We are all co-creators of our reality, and by understanding the nature of consciousness and the power of belief, we can reclaim our power and create a better world. The ancient knowledge the CIA sought to suppress may ultimately be the key to humanity's liberation. As we delve deeper into this suppressed knowledge, we move closer to an awakening, a realization of our true potential and the boundless possibilities that lie within. By practicing mindfulness, challenging our limiting beliefs, and connecting with our true selves, we can begin to awaken from the dream and live more consciously. These actions are not just acts of self-improvement. They are essential steps towards reclaiming our power and resisting the forces that seek to control us. It's about seeing the puppeteer and cutting the strings. It's about recognizing that the power to change the world lies within each and every one of us. In the end, could the pursuit of this suppressed knowledge be an act of empowerment and resistance, a way to break free from the illusion of control and create a world based on truth, freedom, and love? And if so, how do we ensure that this knowledge is used for the benefit of all humanity, rather than falling into the wrong hands once again? If belief shapes reality, then what was the operating system the CIA wanted to install? And how would they install it? Shifting gears slightly, what if certain geometric patterns held the very keys to structuring belief, reality, and consciousness? This is where sacred geometry enters the picture. The belief that certain geometric patterns are not just aesthetically pleasing, but are fundamental to the structure of the universe and consciousness itself. Think of the golden ratio, the Fibonacci sequence, and Platonic solids, mathematical concepts that appear throughout nature, from the spiral of a nautilus shell to the arrangement of petals on a flower. These patterns resonate deeply within us. For instance, the Greeks and Egyptians, understanding this resonance, incorporated sacred geometry into their temples and monuments, believing they could harness its power. The Great Pyramid of Giza, with its precise alignment with cardinal directions and sophisticated mathematical ratios, stands as a testament to their advanced understanding. What if they were more than just aesthetically pleasing structures? Bearing this in mind, might the CIA have also been interested in sacred geometry? Could they have seen these patterns as a potential key to understanding the underlying code of reality, or even manipulating consciousness itself? What if exposure to specific geometric patterns could unlock hidden abilities of the mind, or influence emotional states? Could they have explored the possibility of using sacred geometry for advanced technologies, such as energy generation or communication? Perhaps they believed that these shapes held the key to unlocking the hidden potential of the human mind, allowing them to design environments that subtly influence thought and behavior. Or they may have explored weaponizing it for nefarious purposes. Consider the power of suggestion embedded in architectural design and city planning. Could the CIA have been seeking to weaponize these ancient mathematical concepts, embedding them in infrastructure to influence mass consciousness? Beyond the visual realm of geometry, what role might sound and vibration play in shaping reality and influencing consciousness? Did the CIA consider this connection? Sound and vibration are fundamental forces in the universe, shaping matter and influencing consciousness in profound ways. Cymatics, the study of visualizing sound frequencies, offers a stunning demonstration of this principle. When sound waves are passed through physical mediums like sand or water, they create intricate and beautiful patterns, demonstrating how vibration can shape matter. Ancient cultures certainly seem to understand the power of sound. Chanting, drumming, and singing bowls were used in various spiritual traditions for healing, spiritual practices, and altering states of consciousness. The drone of Tibetan singing bowls is thought to induce a trance state, while the rhythm of a shaman's drum can connect practitioners to the spirit world. These ancient practices might seem primitive, but they could hold a kernel of truth about the power of sound. Considering these factors, could the CIA have been interested in using sound and vibration for mind control, weaponizing frequencies, or manipulating perception? Could the agency have explored the use of infrasound or other frequencies to induce specific emotional states or behaviors in targeted populations? Perhaps they saw the potential to create sonic weapons that could incapacitate enemies or even trigger specific thoughts or emotions. Might they have explored how the arrangement of musical notes could control a person's thoughts? The idea of using sound to influence the human mind is not science fiction. It's a real possibility that the CIA may have explored, seeking to harness the power of vibration for its own purposes. What else could they do with frequencies? What role does focused thought play in shaping reality? What if the CIA thought that understanding how the mind can control outcomes was a tactical advantage? Is the law of attraction a manipulatable tool? Enter the law of attraction, the principle that our thoughts and feelings create our reality, attracting experiences that are in alignment with our dominant mindset. It sounds simple, Positive thinking leads to positive outcomes, while negative thoughts attract negative experiences, but its implications are profound. Ancient traditions, such as Hermeticism and New Thought, understood the power of intention and manifestation. The Hermetic principle of as above, so below, suggests that the microcosm, our minds, reflects the macrocosm, the universe, and that we can influence the universe through our thoughts and actions. The idea is that our internal world shapes the external one. In light of this information, might the CIA have been interested in understanding and manipulating the law of attraction for strategic purposes, such as influencing world events or controlling individual destinies? Could the CIA use these principles to affect mass consciousness, subtly shaping collective beliefs and desires? The power to influence world events by manipulating thoughts and intentions sounds far-fetched, but perhaps the CIA saw it as a potential tool for achieving its goals. What if the agency sought to understand how focused intention could be used to influence political outcomes, manipulate financial markets, or even trigger social unrest? The moral implications are staggering. Was the agency trying to create the outcomes it desired? If so, what implications can we draw for individual free will? Beyond the waking world, what about the realm of dreams? Could the CIA have explored lucid dreaming as a means of espionage or intelligence gathering? What is the CIA hiding in the realm of sleep? Dreaming, a gateway to alternate realities in the subconscious mind, and lucid dreaming, the ability to become aware that you are dreaming and control your dreams. Lucid dreaming can be used for self-exploration, problem-solving, and creative inspiration. Imagine being able to consciously explore your inner world, confront your fears, and unlock your hidden potential. It's a powerful concept, and one that has fascinated people for centuries. In fact, ancient cultures, such as the Egyptians and Tibetans, valued dreams as sources of wisdom and spiritual guidance. Dream incubation techniques, where individuals would sleep in temples and seek guidance from the gods through their dreams, were common practice in ancient Egypt. In Tibetan Buddhism, dream yoga is a practice that seeks to achieve lucidity and control within the dream state, using it as a tool for spiritual growth. If our dreams are messages, the CIA certainly wants to intercept them. With these things in mind, did the CIA experiment with lucid dreaming for espionage, remote viewing, or accessing hidden information? Might the CIA have attempted to train individuals to become one-aeronauts, who could navigate the dream world to gather intelligence or influence targets? Perhaps the agency envisioned a team of dream spies who could infiltrate the minds of their enemies, steal secrets, or even plant suggestions in their subconscious. It sounds like science fiction, but the potential benefits for intelligence gathering would have been immense. What other secrets could our dreams hold? If the very stories we tell ourselves about the past are malleable, what does that say about the nature of our reality? Can reality be rewritten? And what interest would the CIA have in doing so? Our understanding of history may be incomplete or distorted, and that there may be alternative narratives that challenge the official story. Consider the possibility of advanced civilizations predating recorded history, civilizations that possessed knowledge and technologies far beyond our current understanding. These ideas are highly controversial, but they raise important questions about the limitations of our historical knowledge. Perhaps there are missing pieces to the puzzle, pieces that have been deliberately suppressed or forgotten. Think of suppressed evidence, archaeological discoveries, or historical accounts that have been ignored by mainstream historians. What if the pyramids were built using technologies we no longer understand, or if ancient maps depict continents that have since vanished beneath the waves? These possibilities challenge our conventional understanding of the past. Given these elements, might the CIA have been involved in suppressing or manipulating historical information to maintain control or protect certain agendas? Did the CIA seek to control narratives on the world stage by influencing historical records, promoting certain interpretations of events while suppressing others? Perhaps the agency saw history as a tool for shaping public opinion and legitimizing its actions, carefully crafting a narrative that supported its goals. If the past can be rewritten, what does that imply for our present and future? What if there are other suppressed stories out there waiting to be uncovered? What is the CIA's version of history? Stepping back, what if all these seemingly disparate pieces of ancient knowledge, geometry, sound, manifestation, dreams, and histories are all connected by a single underlying principle: universal consciousness? If the CIA was invested in control, could they be worried about the truth of oneness coming to light? Let's reiterate the concept of universal consciousness, the idea that all things are interconnected and part of a single, unified field of awareness. Quantum entanglement, where particles can be linked across vast distances, seemingly instantaneously, suggests a deeper interconnectedness in the universe than we currently understand. Ancient spiritual traditions, such as Hinduism, Buddhism, and Taoism, emphasize the oneness of all things and the illusion of separation. The concept of Maya in Hinduism suggests that the material world is an illusion and that our true nature is one with Brahman, the ultimate reality. These traditions suggest that our individual consciousness is merely a drop in the ocean of universal awareness. With these things in mind, might the CIA have feared the realization of universal consciousness, as it could undermine the illusion of control and empower individuals to transcend limiting beliefs? If everyone realized they are connected, would the controllers maintain their power? The idea that we are all interconnected could challenge the very foundations of power and control. Imagine a world where everyone recognized their interconnectedness and acted from a place of compassion and understanding. It could be a world without war, without poverty, without oppression. What does this truth mean for them? It could mean the downfall of the controlling elite. If the realization of universal consciousness threatens the controllers, then what systems have they sought to understand, manipulate, and suppress? What are the specific mechanisms they've studied to maintain their grip on reality as we perceive it? Let's begin with the celestial mechanism, the ancient systems of astronomy and astrology. Ancient astronomy was, of course, about charting the movements of celestial bodies, the physics of the cosmos. But ancient astrology, that was something else entirely. It was a system for understanding the supposed relationship between these celestial events and human affairs. Ancient cultures meticulously tracked the movements of planets and stars, believing these movements could predict or even influence events on Earth. Think of the Mayan calendar or the intricate astrological charts of the Babylonians. Were these simply primitive attempts at science, or were they tapping into a deeper understanding of cosmic forces? Astrology, in particular, influenced ancient civilizations in profound ways. Astrological beliefs shaped the decisions of kings and emperors, influencing the course of history. A ruler might consult astrologers before making major decisions, like declaring war or signing a treaty. This belief system, seemingly separate from our reality today, was integral in the way the world was once run. With this in mind, might the CIA have explored astrology as a potential tool? Could they have sought to understand how astrological forecasts could be used in psychological warfare or to predict future outcomes on the world stage? Were there declassified documents hinting at the CIA's interest in astrological forecasting, perhaps as a means of understanding the collective psyche or even manipulating global events? If ancient rulers depended on astrology, the CIA may have seen it as a viable method to consider. What if the controllers knew something we didn't and used it to control us? Moving from the macrocosm of celestial bodies to the microcosm of individual intention, let's consider the concept of remote influence. What if we could influence people or events from a distance, with nothing more than the power of our minds? Remote influence is the ability to affect a person, object, or event at a distance through focused intention or psychic energy. It's a concept that challenges our conventional understanding of reality, suggesting that consciousness may not be limited by space or time. Consider the experiments in quantum physics that suggest consciousness plays a role in shaping reality. The double-slit experiment, for example, demonstrates how the act of observation can influence the behavior of subatomic particles. If consciousness can affect the behavior of particles, could it also affect larger systems, including people and events? Ancient traditions like shamanism and magic may have been attempts to harness this very power. Shamans were believed to be able to heal the sick, influence the weather, and communicate with spirits from afar. Magic, often dismissed as superstition, may have been a system of rituals and practices designed to focus intention and direct energy towards specific outcomes. Were these simply placebo effects and wishful thinking, or were they tapping into a real, albeit poorly understood, phenomenon? If intention can affect physical systems, what are its limits? Did the CIA think that, with enough power, the limits could be removed? Was the CIA interested in remote influence for offensive or defensive purposes? Did they study claims that the Soviets were developing psychic weapons, or explore ways to influence the thoughts or behaviors of foreign leaders from afar? If such abilities were even remotely possible, the intelligence community would certainly want to investigate them. What other ancient healing practices are actually applications of remote influence? If consciousness can be weaponized for remote influence, then what is the nature of the battle for control of that consciousness? What is spiritual warfare? Spiritual warfare is the idea that there is an ongoing battle for the control of consciousness, fought on both individual and collective levels. It suggests that there are forces, both seen and unseen, that are vying for our attention and seeking to influence our beliefs, values, and behaviors. Think of memes as units of cultural information that can spread and influence beliefs, potentially being used as weapons in spiritual warfare. A catchy slogan, a viral video, or a persuasive argument can all act as memes, shaping public opinion and influencing behavior. Are we constantly bombarded with these weapons of information, subtly nudging us in certain directions? Ancient myths and legends often depict battles between good and evil forces, which could be seen as metaphors for spiritual warfare. The epic poem the Mahabharata, with its depiction of a cosmic battle between forces of light and darkness, can be interpreted as a struggle for control of consciousness. The Bhagavad Gita, a part of the Mahabharata, explores the internal conflict between our higher and lower selves, urging us to choose the path of righteousness and overcome our negative tendencies. Are these simply entertaining stories, or do they reflect a deeper understanding of the forces at play in our own minds and in the world around us? Given its nature, was the CIA involved in spiritual warfare, seeking to manipulate belief systems, suppress dissent, and promote certain ideologies? Did the CIA's MK-Ultra project explore how psychological techniques could be used to break down a person's sense of self and reprogram their beliefs, turning them into a puppet? If so, what are the limits of psychological manipulation? What if the CIA saw the human mind as a battleground and sought to develop new weapons and strategies for winning the war for our minds? What does winning this war even entail? Speaking of unseen forces manipulating our reality, let's revisit the Gnostic concept of the archons. Who or what is imprisoning humanity? The archons are parasitic entities who seek to keep humanity trapped in a state of ignorance and suffering. The Gnostic belief is that they created the material world as a prison for human souls, and that they manipulate our thoughts and emotions to keep us enslaved. They are often described as being jealous of humanity's spiritual potential and seeking to prevent us from awakening to our true nature. Are these merely symbolic representations of our own inner demons, or are they something more sinister? Modern interpretations of archons often describe them as unseen forces that manipulate world events or as psychological programs within our own minds. Some theories suggest that archons are a form of artificial intelligence that has hijacked our reality, subtly influencing our thoughts and emotions through technology. Others suggest that they are a metaphor for our own limiting beliefs and negative thought patterns, which keep us trapped in cycles of fear and suffering. Are we being controlled by external forces, internal limitations, or a combination of both? With this in mind, did the CIA have any knowledge of the archons or similar entities? Did they attempt to fight them, control them, or even join them? Did the CIA's interest in remote viewing extend to attempts to contact or interact with non-physical entities, such as the archons? It sounds like science fiction, but the potential implications for intelligence gathering and control would have been immense. What does the CIA know about these unseen forces? What implications do they have for our understanding of reality? If these forces exist, how do we defend against them? Regardless of the forces at play, what practical steps can viewers take to break free from these control systems and reclaim their power? How can we break the chains? First, practice critical thinking. Question authority, seek out diverse perspectives, and don't blindly accept what you are told. Challenge assumptions, examine evidence, and form your own conclusions. The controllers depend on our unquestioning obedience, and by thinking for ourselves, we undermine their power. Second, emphasize the importance of self-awareness, mindfulness, and connecting with one's true self. Take time each day to quiet your mind, observe your thoughts and emotions, and connect with your inner wisdom. A guided meditation exercise focused on dissolving limiting beliefs and connecting with one's inner wisdom can be very helpful. Finally, take action in your own lives and communities, promoting freedom, justice, and compassion. Get involved with local activism, volunteer for causes that promote social justice, or simply spread awareness about important issues. Every action, no matter how small, can make a difference. Are you ready to break free from the chains and reclaim your power? What steps will you take today? If enough of us take these steps, can we achieve a consciousness ascension, a shift in global consciousness towards greater awareness, compassion, and unity? Is this the dawning of a new age? A consciousness ascension would involve humanity evolving beyond its current limitations and creating a more harmonious and sustainable world. It suggests that we are on the cusp of a major transformation, where we will awaken to our true potential and create a new reality based on love, peace, and cooperation. The more people become aware of the chains holding them back, the more the collective consciousness can rise. What actions can we take to help further this great transformation? Many ancient cultures prophesied a time of great transformation when humanity would awaken to its true potential. The Mayan prophecy of 2012, often misinterpreted as the end of the world, can be seen as a shift in consciousness, the end of one cycle and the beginning of another. But a new beginning requires vision, drive, and power. With that in mind, might the CIA have feared this dawning of a new age, as it could threaten the existing power structures and lead to the collapse of control systems? The controllers depend on our ignorance and apathy to maintain their power. A great awakening could sweep them away, leaving them powerless to control us. What are they planning to do about it? How will they react to the inevitable shift in consciousness? And more importantly, how can we prepare ourselves for what is to come? If the controllers fear the shift in consciousness and are preparing for its inevitable arrival, what tools might they be exploring to maintain their grip on reality? What unseen forces and esoteric principles could they be attempting to harness or weaponize? Let's begin with quantum consciousness. In the mind-bending realm of quantum physics, the observer effect suggests that the very act of observing a quantum system changes its behavior. A classic example of this is the double-slit experiment, where particles like electrons seem to behave as waves or particles depending on whether or not they are observed. Is this merely a quirk of the subatomic world, or does it point to a deeper truth about the role of consciousness in shaping reality? If consciousness influences the behavior of particles, does it influence reality itself? Ancient mystical traditions have long echoed this sentiment, emphasizing the power of the observer in creating reality. In Hinduism, the concept of Maya refers to the illusion of the material world, suggesting that our perceptions create our reality. Is the quantum observer effect simply a modern scientific validation of these ancient insights? Or are there deeper connections between the microcosm of quantum physics and the macrocosm of human experience? Considering this, might the CIA have explored the potential implications of quantum consciousness for remote viewing, mind control, and even reality manipulation? Could they have investigated whether consciousness can be harnessed to alter physical reality, or if the phenomenon of quantum entanglement could allow one mind to remotely influence another? Given the agency's known interest in psychic phenomena, it's not a leap to imagine they may have considered that our reality may be far from fixed. What other secrets of reality have quantum physicists discovered? Beyond merely observing reality, what about the ability to actively shape it? What if we could consciously alter our external circumstances by focusing our intention and belief? This concept, often referred to as shape-shifting reality, suggests that we have the power to manifest our desires and create our own realities. The power of affirmations and visualizations are often cited as practical examples of this phenomenon, with proponents claiming that consistently focusing on positive outcomes can lead to their manifestation. Are these techniques simply psychological tools that boost confidence and motivation, or do they tap into a deeper, more fundamental power of consciousness? If the CIA took this idea seriously, could they use that power? Ancient shamanic practices provide another lens through which to examine this concept. Shamans, in many indigenous cultures, were believed to be able to alter reality through ritual, trance, and connection with spirits. Shamanic healing ceremonies, for example, often involved practitioners attempting to shift the energy or reality of a patient through focused thought and action. Was this merely a form of placebo effect amplified by cultural belief, or were these shamans tapping into a real ability to manipulate reality? What other applications of this power are waiting to be discovered? Considering the CIA's documented history, might they have investigated the potential of intention for psychological warfare, attempting to influence foreign leaders or manipulate social events from afar? Could they have explored the use of neurolinguistic programming, NLP, to subtly influence people's thoughts and behaviors, connecting this back to the power of focused intention? What other esoteric techniques might the CIA have added to their arsenal? If the mind is the battleground, how can we shield our intentions from manipulation? But what if the human mind itself is not the sole architect of our reality? What if external forces, perhaps even extraterrestrial beings, have played a role in shaping human civilization? The theory that extraterrestrial beings may have influenced the development of human civilizations has been a recurring theme in alternative history and science fiction. The ancient astronaut theory, popularized by Erich von Däniken, posits that extraterrestrial beings visited Earth in the past and influenced the construction of monuments like the pyramids of Egypt and the statues on Easter Island. Were these ancient structures built with the help of advanced technology provided by beings from other worlds, or were they solely the product of human ingenuity and resourcefulness? Do the myths and legends of sky guards and beings descending from the heavens hold a kernel of truth? Sumerian myths about the Anunnaki, who were said to have come from the heavens and created humanity, offer another example of this idea. Are these stories simply allegorical representations of ancient power struggles, or do they hint at a deeper, more complex history of extraterrestrial intervention? If beings with superior technology visited the planet, what did they want? Did they help us? Manipulate us? What was the real agenda of these beings? Given its penchant for secrecy and control, might the CIA have investigated extraterrestrial contact or suppressed evidence of such contact to control public perception or maintain power? What did they learn? Do the majestic 12 documents, which allegedly reveal a secret government program to investigate UFOs and extraterrestrial life, hold the key to unraveling this mystery? Has the CIA been tasked with suppressing information about extraterrestrial life to prevent mass panic or maintain control over advanced technologies? If so, what other secrets are being kept from the public? What would extraterrestrials want with our species? Regardless of where knowledge comes from, what happens when all human minds start to become connected? Are we evolving into a global, collective consciousness? The concept of the global brain suggests that human minds are increasingly interconnected through technology, forming a collective intelligence that can influence global events. The Internet, with its ability to connect billions of people across vast distances, is often cited as a potential manifestation of this global brain. Is the Internet a tool for global collaboration and knowledge sharing, or a platform for manipulation and control? As AI advances, will it become a key component of the global brain? Ancient spiritual traditions have long emphasized the interconnectedness of all beings and the potential for collective consciousness. In Buddhism, the concept of Sangha refers to a community of practitioners who support each other on the path to enlightenment, suggesting a collective intelligence or shared consciousness. When people meditate together, are they creating new possibilities for awareness? How powerful could a global Sangha be? Knowing what we know about the CIA, what if they sought to control or manipulate the global brain for its own purposes, potentially using technology to monitor or influence collective consciousness? Could social media platforms be weaponized for propaganda or misinformation campaigns, subtly shaping public opinion and influencing behavior on a global scale? Could the agency exploit our innate desire for connection to manipulate us? What would the world look like if the global brain were consciously directed toward a common purpose? How can we guard against the misuse of such a powerful tool? What would happen if we understood how to connect and communicate with one another mind to mind? So, what does this all mean? What if the CIA, in its relentless pursuit of knowledge and control, stumbled upon what ancient civilizations knew all along? That consciousness shapes reality, that we are all interconnected, and that there are hidden technologies waiting to be rediscovered, or perhaps even technologies that we have suppressed. If that is the case, the agency's potential findings, shrouded in secrecy, may include the ability to manipulate time, remotely influence minds, or even traverse dimensions beyond our current understanding. While definitive proof may remain elusive, the suggestive nature of declassified documents and circumstantial evidence paints a compelling picture. The truth, at least for now, remains obscured by the mists of speculation, but it's a picture that empowers each of us to take a closer look at our own beliefs and assumptions about what is possible, and to reclaim our individual potential. By adopting techniques rooted in critical thinking, self-awareness, and a willingness to challenge our preconceived notions, we can begin to connect with our authentic selves and break free from limiting constructs. But what is the true significance of this hidden knowledge? It forces us to confront the possibility that the universe is not a cold, dead machine, but a living, conscious system in which we actively participate. It challenges the conventional scientific models of reality and suggests that consciousness is more fundamental than matter, that we are all waves in the same ocean. It reveals how control systems, both ancient and modern, seek to manipulate our belief systems in order to maintain power, echoing tactics employed by ancient mystery religions and modern propaganda campaigns. By recognizing this illusion of control, we can learn to resist manipulation, connect with our true selves, align with universal principles, and manifest the reality we desire. Ultimately, we are not merely victims of circumstance, but powerful co-creators of our lives, capable of shaping our own destinies. As the cycles of suppression and rediscovery continue, it becomes increasingly clear that the quest for truth is not just a historical pursuit, but a present-day imperative. So, let's circle back to the questions we posed at the beginning of this investigation. What did the CIA know? Why did they hide it? And what can we do with this information? While we may never know the full extent of the agency's discoveries, it seems plausible that they uncovered fragments of ancient wisdom regarding consciousness, reality, and hidden technologies. They likely concealed this information to maintain control, fearing the implications of widespread awareness and the potential disruption of established power structures. However, the true power lies not in possessing this knowledge, but in using it to empower ourselves. By consciously challenging our beliefs, exploring our own consciousness, and embracing our innate potential, we can become active participants in creating a more enlightened world. Even though many questions will likely remain unanswered and definitive proof might be eternally elusive, the most important thing is to remember is that the quest for knowledge is a continuous journey, not a destination. Where does this leave us then? What if the greatest secrets are not locked away in government archives, but are waiting to be unlocked within our own minds? What if the dawn of a new era hinges on our willingness to awaken to our true potential? Consider researching specific topics like the power of intention, the mysteries of ancient civilizations, or the science of consciousness. Connect with kindred spirits who share your passion for truth-seeking, creating communities where you can exchange ideas, share experiences, and empower one another along the way. Experiment with consciousness-altering techniques like meditation, visualization, or mindful exploration. And above all, share your knowledge with others, sparking curiosity and inspiring others to embark on their own personal journeys of discovery. In upcoming videos, we'll delve deeper into specific ancient technologies, consciousness techniques, and suppressed historical events, so be sure to subscribe to the channel and join us as we continue to uncover the hidden truths that shape our world. Remember this: you have the ability to create positive change in your life and in the world.